Stop applying to all those jobs. The number one mistake I see people making when they're applying for space jobs is applying to all the jobs, dozens of them, even hundreds of jobs. Stop doing this. Here's why. Hi, I'm Lara Forsyk. I am the executive director of space consulting firm Astrolytical, and I am the only space career coach that caters to high-level professionals. The biggest reason why you should not be mass applying to jobs is because it is quantity over quality, when in fact you want quality over quantity. This makes a huge difference in how your applications are received and how a hiring manager perceives you. Let's take this scenario. Let's say that you have an hour dedicated to applying to space jobs. Let's say that you applied to 10 jobs in that hour. That's 6 jobs a minute. Now, instead of applying to 10 jobs, what if you applied to 2 jobs? That's half an hour per job focused on that particular application. But even better, let's say that you spend that whole hour perfecting one application. How much better would that one application be compared to those 10 applications that you rushed out in 6 minutes? It takes time to make a really good application. It takes time to tailor your resume to the job posting, to the company, to the role that you want to work for. It takes time to tailor your cover letter. It takes time to identify all the ways in which you are a good fit for that particular company and that particular role. And then figure out a way to word craft it so that you can articulate why it is that you're a good fit for that role. All of that takes time. And I always tell my clients, do not rely on just applying. Also network. So what if you took half an hour to write that application and the other half an hour was spent networking with key people within that company or within that organization or within that team who can help you to figure out, 1, if you're a good fit for that position, 2, what they're looking for, and 3, see if they will refer you for that role. Really spending time on your applications and making them as good as they can be without feeling paralyzed like it has to be perfect, because it's never going to be perfect, but as good as you can be, and sending that off and doing that over and over and over again for just a select few applications rather than sending off mass applications, as many as you can, and rushing those applications. It really will make a difference. You will stand out if you're putting out high quality applications. Not only that, but sending out hundreds of applications does not necessarily increase your chances of getting a job, because you're probably not sending out applications for the right positions, and you're probably not taking the time to see whether or not you are a good fit for them and whether that job is a good fit for you. So instead of sending out as many applications as you can, like you're racking up points, instead think of it as you talking directly to a hiring manager, and spend that time focused on tailoring your application as best as you can, and networking, because networking really truly is the best way to get a job. If you're liking the content of this video so far, please consider subscribing to my channel, because it really helps me to know what content you would like to see. Mass applying for jobs also leads to a negative feedback loop where you apply, you get rejected, you start to lose more hope. You become less positive, more negative about the whole experience. And you start to lose motivation for applying. You lose your confidence. You're like, what is the point? If it's just going to lead to another rejection, why am I doing this? I'm no good. I'm not worthy. And all of these negative thoughts, they spiral. And people who have been rejected over and over and over and over because they are sending out mass applications really don't have that time to process their thoughts, to see if they are actually true. Is it true that you're not good enough? Or are you just applying to the wrong roles? Or is your application not tailored enough and reflective of what you're actually capable of? Are you actually not meant to work in the space sector? Or are you not applying for the right jobs? And are you not presenting yourself in a way that showcases your transferable skills? Are you not even getting someone to look at your application? Could you do a better job at networking with people who can get you past that initial filter, or help you understand what the company is looking for when they have a job posting? So all of these negative thoughts spiral unchecked when you have rejection after rejection after rejection, or you don't hear back at all. And for some people, unfortunately, I've seen this happen to a lot of people, that they get so dejected that they give up. because why would you put yourself through this spiral over and over and over again? And I think the only option then is to give up trying, to either compromise on what they actually want or stop trying to get a space job altogether. And in fact, what they really should be doing is getting out of this spiral, is reinventing their worldview and taking a moment to reflect on what they truly want so they can go after what they want and only what they want, and not send out mass applications that are going to have mass rejections and lead to this spiral in the first place. Mass applying to jobs makes you look desperate. There, I said it. It needed to be said. You do not want to come across as desperate. I remember meeting someone at a space networking event, and he was down in the dumps because he had been undergoing rejection after rejection, and he was talking about how his finances are not good right now, and his job outlook is bleak, and it's hurting his personal life, and it was just a dark cloud of negativity, and that reeked of desperation. Instead of wanting to hire him, I felt bad for him. I felt pity. So when you are applying for jobs, you do not want the hiring manager, the people who you'll be working with, to feel pity for you. They're not going to hire you out of pity. You do not want to seem desperate. In fact, you want to seem the opposite. Desperation is not a good vibe when you are a job seeker. You will also look unfocused, and that is also not how you want to look. You want to present the picture of someone who knows themselves, who knows what they want, and who goes after what they want. And if you're applying to many different types of roles, then you do not look like you know yourself, and you do not look like you know what you want. You also look like a loser. Oh, I hate to say it because you're not a loser, but you will look like a loser if you are applying to the same company over and over and over again and getting rejected. In fact, I know of space companies that will blacklist you in their system and send you automatic rejections if you apply to their roles too many times and get rejected too many times. So you do not want to be blacklisted by a company that you want to work for. Instead, you want to be discerning. You want to have the attitude and have that vibe that you are picking which company will be lucky enough to hire you. That is the kind of confidence I want you to have. That is the kind of vibe I want you to admit, is that you are the one who is going to pick a lucky company who gets to hire you. Not that you're desperate and you'll take any job, but that you are discerning and you will take only the job that is right for you. Even if in the back of your head, truly you're feeling worried, you're feeling anxious, you feel like you really do need a job, but I do not want that to come across to a hiring manager or to an interview team. I want you to admit confidence, and therefore I do not want you to have that spiral of too many rejections hanging over your head. You do not want to be applying for every job, and when you feel tempted to apply for every job, I want you to ask yourself, if I got an offer on this job, would I accept that offer? Is there any scenario that I wouldn't be compromising what I want to do, that I wouldn't be already planning my exit if I were to accept that offer? Is it truly something I want to do, or is it a foot in the door, or is it truly something that I need to take on because I need a paycheck? Where does it fall in that good fit for you category? And if it is not a good fit, if you're already going to be planning your exit the moment you accept that role, I want you to reconsider it, unless you're in financial straits where you can't. But if you do have that freedom to be able to discern what is really truly a good fit for you, I want you to see how this will play out. A job that is a better fit for you, for your skill set, for your expertise, for your interests, for where you truly want to work, will lead to better target networking. You can really find the people who are in that company doing what it is you want to do, or in that team or office, or people who are doing related things within that company, or people who are doing that job in other companies. And I want you to reach out to them, to ask for introductions if you don't know them, or to reach out cold through LinkedIn with a little note, or to try to meet them at conferences or other networking events. You can really do targeted networking, and I teach my clients how to write targeted messages so that they get the best response rate to their networking notes. And if you can do that targeted networking, I promise you it will get you a leg up when it actually comes time to apply. Through your networking conversations and through your research about the company and the role, you will be able to discern whether or not you fit their needs, because that is what a hiring manager wants to know. Can you fulfill their needs? Remember, it's not about you, it's about them. Can you fulfill their needs? And if you've done your homework, if you've taken the time to really focus sits down, then you will know how it is that you fulfill their needs. When you know that you fulfill your needs, when you've been talking to people within that company or within that team, then you will have the confidence to know that you are actually a good fit for that role, that they actually should hire you because you can help them with their needs, to solve their problems, to fulfill whatever it is that they are needing to hire for. So you will have higher level of confidence, and you will be naturally more interested in that position because it matches you and it matches your interests. So you'll be more enthusiastic. If you are hired for this role, and you will have a high likelihood of being hired for this role if you fulfill these other criteria, then you are more likely to be content in that role and not have an exit plan and not want to leave, barring unpredictable circumstances, because you'll have discerned a job that is such a good match for you and you are a good match for them. And therefore, you're most likely to stay in that role longer term. It's not going to be something that you jump out of after 6 months or a year or 18 months. Hopefully, it's going to be something that you want to do long term. And therefore, everybody wins. And so this is truly the way that I want you to go about looking for a space job, not by applying everywhere, but being discerning about where you apply and have quality over quantity. Are you applying to space jobs and getting rejection after rejection and you just don't know how to get to the finish line? You're in luck, because that is exactly what I do. I am the only space career coach for high-level professionals, and I am here to help you to get a job in the space sector. Please reach out to me to see how I can help you.